Welcome to my second video on the top cool places to see in Sydney, Australia. If you haven't seen my first video, go ahead and check it out. There's a link in the description of this video. There's some useful tips on travel and also getting around Sydney in that video. I recently visited Sydney in spring of this year and saw some new places that really deserve a video, so let's go ahead and start. In my first video, I recommended a visit to the Taronga Zoo, and it's still a good place to visit, but recently I went to a place called the Featherdale Wildlife Park. Great place to visit. It's a petting zoo that contains all kinds of native Australian wildlife. Crocodile, kangaroo, koala bear. If you ever had the dream of touching or petting a kangaroo or wallaby, now's your chance. To get there, you'll want to take the trains from wherever you're staying, whether it be Central or Town Hall, and head west. And you'll want to get off at either the Blacktown station here, or you can also get off at a train at Doonside. That's a less frequent train, but it's a shorter walking distance. But once you get off at Blacktown or Doonside, you can catch a bus and get to the Featherdale Wildlife Park. I recommend getting there early when the animals are more active in the morning, because once it gets really hot, if you're going to Australia in the summer, the animals are not going to be very active. They'll be more docile. If you're visiting the Botanical Gardens, a must-see is the Art Gallery of New South Wales. And once again, I can't believe I missed this on all my other trips to Sydney. But to get to Botanical Gardens, you can either get off at the Circular Quay train station, Martin Place, St. James, and just walk through the Botanical Gardens here. Really nice walk any time of year. And here's the Art Gallery of New South Wales. For art lovers, you'll be astounded. There is early European art, Renaissance art, contemporary art, the sculptures, clay work, all kinds of things. Really good place to visit. If you're in the area of Watson's Bay or South Head, I recommend a visit to the Macquarie Lighthouse. To get there, get off at the Circular Quay train station at the Circular Quay wharfs and take a ferry over to Watson's Bay. When you get off at the Watson's Bay wharf, you'll walk across this park here and up to this coast. At this point, you can walk up to South Head if you want, get some good views, or walk further down, at which point you will get to the Macquarie Lighthouse. It's a really cool historic building built in the early 1800s at the behest of the governor at the time, Mr. Macquarie. And on the inside, it has some really cool displays on lighthouse equipment, and you can even go up to the top where the lighthouse is. Though I think it was about $10 to go up to the top, so you make sure you want to bring some cash when you go to this building. While you're at Manly Beach, I highly recommend taking a walk around North Head. Once again, to get to Manly Beach, which is in my first video, you'll get off at the Circular Quay train station, get on the Circular Quay wharf, get on the ferry that goes up to Manly Beach, which is all the way up here. At which point, you'll walk across this road here and onto Manly Beach. And from there, you'll take this gray path here. And you keep going around, and eventually you'll walk through this gray area here, this dashed line. You'll come to an old barracks. There's some old World War II remains from some cannons that were used for the defense of Sydney Harbour. You'll keep walking south here, all these great trails you can go on, and you'll get to Fairfax Lookout here, which offers a really good vantage point of the South Head and also the cityscape of Sydney. And if you're lucky, you'll even see a water dragon. Nature lovers really like this next suggestion, Jenolan Caves, which is far west of Sydney. To get there, you can either take a tour bus or drive your rental car. Tour bus information can be found online through various companies. It's an all-day event, so make sure you plan accordingly. To get there, you'll be going through Penrith, Katoomba, Mount Victoria, up here to Hartley, and you'll take this road down to Jenolan Caves. At one point, it's like a single lane road, windy, really narrow. The views are really good along that road. You'll also pass by the Three Sisters if you're going to be on your way to Katoomba. But like I said, Takes a long time to get there, but there's self-guided tours. The tours of the caves are really good, some of the oldest caves in the world. So it's an active cave, which means it's still wet. So I recommend visiting. If you ever visit Manly Beach, the North Head, Watson's Bay, or the South Head, when you're taking the ferry, I'm sure you'll look across here to this land and be like, how the heck do I get there? At least I asked that question. Well, I'm going to tell you. To get there, you'll take the train to the Circular Quay station and get to a wharf which will take you to the Taronga Zoo, which is right over here. Once you get off on that ferry, there's a bus stop. A bus there will take you up north to Balmoral Beach, up here. It's a nice quiet beach, a good family place with kids. There's also places to eat along the beach. But what you'll do is you'll walk south here along the beach, and you'll come to this Balmoral Park, which is like a little small sports park for football or soccer. You'll walk this track here, keep going down, you'll cross this road in through this forest area here, real pretty, and you'll come down to about here. Here's where you'll see the middle head, gun placement, and tunnels. And so from here you'll get a really good vantage point of the south head, the north head, and the ferries coming across, sailboats. It's really nice and aptly named Middle Head. If you're in the vicinity of Hyde Park, I recommend visiting the Barracks Museum. To get there, you'll take a train and either get off here on the north side of Hyde Park, either at St. James, or if you're on the Bondi Junction line, you can get off at Martin Place. But the barracks is right here, this building, and it's a really interesting place to visit. It's over 200 years old. It was built at the behest of Governor Macquarie, and it was originally a barracks for the prisoners or criminals that were shipped to Australia from Great Britain. Over the years, the building was used for various purposes, and the museum goes over all of this, has a really good guided tour, and I recommend it. My final suggestion is Cockatoo Island, which is a World Heritage Site. It's mainly geared towards people who have an interest in shipbuilding or history. To get there, you'll get off on the Circular Quay train station, go to the wharf, and get on the ferry to Cockatoo Island, which is the largest island in Sydney Harbour. Here. On the history side, this island used to serve as a prison in the early 1800s, and when you visit, it's a self-guided tour across the whole island. I believe you can get tour guides maybe once or twice a day at certain times of the year. You'll want to check online for that. But you'll get to see how the island was used all throughout from the 1800s until now, through World War II, all the shipbuilding, etc. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click the like button and leave a comment below. Have you seen something that I missed? Do you have a suggestion? Let me know. And next time I go to Sydney, I'll visit and I'll be sure to make a new video on any new places I visit.